Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shah. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah, Bahashem Rekakadash. Yahweh being the name of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shah being the name of His only begotten Son, who they ignorantly call Jesus Christ. Now, I'm going to get into this modern day pharaohs that we have because when you look at the scriptures, Babylon the Great, America, is spiritually Egypt. And a lot of the places that's been paralleled or compared to Egypt is because they had the children of Israel in captivity. Now, we know how we got here in America due to the transatlantic slave trade. We came over here on slave ships. And coming over here on slave ships was one of the major curses that was going to identify the children of Israel. That was Deuteronomy. Let's go ahead and get that. Keep it simple. Okay, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. It says, "And the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships by the way whereof I spake unto you. You shall see it no more again. And there you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you or redeem you." And so that Egypt represented slavery. See, you was gonna go to a land where people was going, and they're getting caught up on the word Egypt is just, how do they say, it's just ignorant, man, because the context of the whole verse is somebody selling you, man. You finna go to a land on some ships. You finna go to a place on some ships and be sold. See, sold to your enemies. This is an easy concept. And so, the place that's been talked about is Egypt. So let's get Exodus 20 and 2 and see how the Lord categorized Egypt. It says, "I am the Lord your God, which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage." And so the house of bondage is where the children of Israel ends up when they get in, when the curses kick in. And so we find ourselves here in Babylon the Great, America, the great city. And that's in Revelation. It says, "And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified." Now, when you go into that Egypt is talking about spiritual Egypt. So in Joel, you got it in Joel, where it says what he was going to do at the end of the world, or before he raised his people up again. It says in verse 2, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." They did that on the slave ships in the transatlantic slave trade. Cargo ships, 300 to 500 people at the bottom of a ship. The greatest slavery known to man. It said, "And they have cast lots for my people." So that's when they got off of the ship and they went to that land. They was selling them on auction blocks. Verse 6, "The children of Judah and the children of Jerusalem have ye sold unto the Grecians." Now we identifying. See, that's why we see these pharaohs. They just the Grecians. But look at verse 19. it say Egypt shall be a desolation. So he paralleling uh these people with Egypt, these pharaohs that's selling the children of Israel and keeping them in a hard bondage. They are categorized as Egypt. And then it identify them. It say, and Edom shall be a desolate wilderness. So these Edomites and their kingdom is the spiritual Pharaoh. These Edomites is the ones that has this spiritual Egypt that is the house of bondage for the Israelites. You see, and so when you go into Amos, it talks about the same situation. How these are the pharaohs. These are the modern day pharaohs. It talks about the Arabs having a participation in verse 6. They carried away the whole captivity and delivered them to the Edomites. Verse 9, it talks about the Hamite Africans. It says, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom. You see, Edom was the one that put the children of Israel in captivity and brought them over here on slave ships and sold them on auction block. Edom is the so-called Grecians, and we know who the Grecians was: Alexander the Great and Antiochus. They all got statues, and they clearly what they call themselves now is so-called Caucasian white people, European. They got 100,000 identities that they're using to try to get away from that name of Edom and the punishment that's going to the nation of Edom. See, they don't mind getting the blessings from being an Edomite, but when the curses coming, they don't want. They want to dodge the curses. See, but the Israelites, we can't. We experiencing our curses, and then we get our blessing after the curses. See, they got their blessing before the curses. Now, anyways, let's get some more on that Pharaoh situation. When you go in Apostle Paul, he breaks it down in verse 11. When start there, it say, for the children being not yet born, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand. See, this is the purpose and the plan that God set up. The Edomites get blessed first and then get cursed. The Israelites get cursed first, then get blessed. It says not because of works, not because of what they did. It's because he planned it to be this way, but of him that calleth. Verse 12, it says, it was said unto her, the elder shall serve the younger. So the elder Esau is going to have to serve the younger Israelites. They're going to have to go into their curses and be a slave after the Israelites go through this transatlantic slave trade and go through their servitude. Verse 13, it says, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So this thing is talking about Jacob and his sons, the Israelites, and it's talking about the Edomites. But look at what it says in verse 17. It say, for the scriptures said unto Pharaoh, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So these Edomites is the modern day pharaohs. See, these peoples is been raised up, given their blessing. See, they're flying all over the world in spaceships and all kind of ships under the water, and they got gold for days, and they got all kind of businesses and industries and yachts and all kind of luxury housing. See, they living their blessing to the max. See, and these are the pharaoh, the modern day pharaoh. Now, when you go into let's get the second Ezra, another place where it talks about this spiritual Egypt. Where is it? thinking 15, second Ezra 15. I think it talks about this spiritual Egypt. Look at verse 11 and say, I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm to smite Egypt with plagues as before. So he's not talking about the Egypt that was before. He's talking about an Egypt that is after. And that is the spiritual Egypt, Babylon the Great, America, with these modern day pharaohs who is being slave master to the children of Israel. Say he's gonna smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Say Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague, and the punishment of God shall bring upon it. So this is what's going on with Babylon the Great. It's being hit with plagues back to back to back because they are starting to go into their curses, these modern day pharaohs. See, he's starting to bring these plagues and they starting to go into the curses. Now let's get that. Deuteronomy 30:7. It says, and the Lord your God will put all these curses upon your enemies and on them that hate you, which persecute you. So everything that the curses that the Israelites was going through mainly is talking about slavery and being under the so-called white man. He was going to put them same curses on Esau and the Edomites. That's why I said that Jacob got cursed first and was blessed, going to be blessed afterwards. Esau got the blessing first and was going to be cursed afterwards. That's why I say the elder shall serve the younger. The elder going to get the blessing. The elder going to get the curses after the younger. And the younger going to get the blessing after the elder. That's how the order was, and it wasn't because of what Esau did, wasn't because of what Jacob did, even though the Lord talks about their actions, but at the same time, he planned on this situation. Let's get that. Isaiah 46:10. He said, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. So he told what these children was going to do before they was going to do it. He planned on the situation. Now, I think it's 42. Let me get 42. 9, it say, behold, the former things are come to pass, and new things do I declare. Before they spring forth, I tell you of them. So the Most High planned on the situation where you're going to have the Israelites multiply in the land of Egypt. They was going to serve bondage and a hard bondage to the Egyptians, the Hamites, the big, tall African, Hamite African that look like them people over there in Sudan, in Ethiopia, or whatever you want to call it. Now, these people was going to be the example of what the Edomites was going to do further down the line. Even the Babylonians and the Assyrians, they was examples. That the Edomites in the Greek captivity and in the Roman captivity, they was going to be the modern day pharaohs to the children of Israel. Okay, let's see. Let me get the Obadiah. It says, and Saviors 21, and Saviors shall come up on Mount Zion to judge the mount of Esau, and the kingdom shall be the Lord. So in the Lord's kingdom, the Israelites is going to judge the Edomites, the so-called white man, the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. See, the 144,000 Israelites, they're going to be judging these Edomites. Okay, Second Ezra 6 and 9. It say, for Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So that uh, elder shall serve the younger. The elder is going to be the end of the world. See, he was going to be the Pharaoh, the ruler over the world in the end. And then Jacob is going to be after him. He's going to be the ruler after him and have an everlasting rulership. Let's get that. Daniel 7:18. It says, but the saints of the Most High, talking about the Israelites, shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever. And see, this kingdom where you have these pharaohs, they in the fourth kingdom. See, this is the fourth kingdom that's going to be taken. Salakia. This fourth kingdom, where is it? Verse 23, it says, thus he said, the fourth beast shall be the fourth kingdom upon the earth, which shall be diverse from all kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and it shall tread it down and break it into pieces. See, this American power, this American world power, with this global American dollar, these individuals is that fourth kingdom, and the saints is gonna take the kingdom from them. See, they gonna get power and take it from these Edomites after America is destroyed, and they gonna possess it forever. It ain't gonna be no part-time rulership like Esau had. Okay, and so these modern day pharaohs, they not gonna make it. Now let me get their punishment real quick. I ended on their punishment and where they gonna end up. Isaiah 24. Starting at verse 21, it said, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high. See, these pharaohs and the kings upon the earth, of the earth upon the earth. See, these pharaohs, that's just another word for kings. And it says, verse 22, and they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered into the pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days shall they be visited. So these Edomites is gonna go into the pit, and they're gonna be chained up. See, let me get King David breakdown. It says, to get to the point, verse 7, to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishment upon the people, to bind their kings with chains. See, these pharaohs is going into chains, and their nobles with fetters of iron. See, they gonna be put in chains and thrown into a pit. Let's get another punishment. Let's see, 19 and 18. It say that ye might eat the flesh of kings. See, a lot of them, especially in America, they gonna be being ate alive. It say, in the flesh of captains, and the flesh of mighty men, and the flesh of horses, and of them that sat on them, and the flesh of all men, both free and bond, small and great. See, these kings of the earth, their body is gonna be being ate up by these birds of the heaven. See, fowl in verse 17 say, fowls that fly in the midst of heaven. See, they're gonna be eating their behind up after they done got burned up or killed in some kind of manner. This is what's going to happen to these modern day pharaohs. But I'm going to leave it there. All praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rekakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.